Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Mica Burton.
Is Star Wars Battlefront 2 actually gonna fix everything that was wrong with the first game?
Well, obviously it's still a little bit early, but we've learned a lot of really promising details about the game over the weekend. We've got a release date, some more details about the game's story, including who's writing it and which characters you get to play as. Oh, and we've learned more about the multiplayer mode as well.
All pretty promising stuff. So let's get right into it. First things first, the game will be released on November 17th for PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One, and the teams behind the game, which is EA, Motive Studios, DICE, and Lucasfilm, finally showed off a full trailer of the game at Star Wars Celebration during the weekend.
As we've reported, the new game will include all eras of the Star Wars universe, not just the original trilogy. It will also include a single-player campaign, which will also be canon, that follows the events of Return of the Jedi. GameSpot and others have reported that the campaign will follow an Imperial commander named Iden Versio, who vows to avenge the Emperor and stop the rebellion. The campaign will also include other perspectives, though, like who, you may ask? Well, you'll also be able to play some missions as Luke Skywalker and as Kylo Ren, in addition to others. So, intrigued? We thought so.
So maybe we'll have a little bit of that, just like a little bit of the whole Battlefield 1 vignette, like hopping around kind of thing going on, possibly. I mean, if you're gonna switch perspectives, it makes sense.
If we get to play as Kylo Ren, do we get to play as like an emo kid, or are we gonna listen to My Chemical Romance the whole time? Come on! It was a good joke.
GameSpot reported that game director Mark Thompson of Motive Studios mentioned that switching perspectives from protagonist to antagonist is a staple of Star Wars movies, so the teams worked to include missions that did the same thing.
As for the story itself, it was co-written by Walt Williams, who you might remember from writing the unique anti-war script behind the third-person shooter, Spec Ops: The Line.
That's the game that took everyone by surprise.
Right.
No one was expecting how subversive that was going to be, so I'll be very curious to see what he does here.
That's very interesting also because Spec Ops: The Line wasn't a commercial hit, but it won a lot of praise for its storyline, which won praise for being a very different take on the military shooter, one that didn't shy away from showing the horrors of war, and people in this office were just earlier talking about how much they loved it.
Everyone who's played the game has very, very good things to say about it. I think the issue with Spec Ops: The Line is that commercial success note. Not enough people actually played it because on the surface level, it looked like just another war game, except without the Call of Duty name attached.
Okay.
As for Battlefront 2's campaign, WCCF Tech reported that Thompson said it will deal with unanswered questions, such as what happened to the galaxy between the Death Star and Starkiller Base, and what happened to the Empire without the Emperor.
Good questions. We did get a hint, though, about what happened in a post-Jedi Empire. In a video of Battlefront 2 after panel that surfaced on YouTube, we could see a Sentinel droid delivering a pre-recorded message from Palpatine saying, Operation Cinder is to begin at once.
Hey, you can't have Cinder, we have Cinder, that's a Ruby thing
That's
now.
our thing! Do you think Jessica Negri is gonna voice this?
Hopefully, and then we're back on board.
Yeah! And apparently, that was a contingency plan that ordered the attack of several worlds.
As for the multiplayer mode, it looks like Battlefront 2 is going to try and refine the combat of the previous game while also adding in a new feature, full space combat, which so many people were asking for in the first one and being really disappointed that it didn't have. The new multiplayer will also have full classes, and each class will have a shared progression system from across the eras, meaning that a battle droid from the prequels will look different from a First Order trooper, but they're still the same class and will have the same upgrades. Vehicles and heroes will all have their own progression systems too.
Executive producer Matt Webster says he wants players to have an emotional attachment to the multiplayer mode. He said, "These are battles on a planet. That's the thing that people attach to. It's that we really wanted to lean into this time."
Also, they really want people to keep playing it for more than like a month. That was one of EA's big issues with Battlefront, is that a lot of people bought it, a lot of people played it, and then they stopped playing it. So they really want you to stick around this time. As for more logistical things, we also learned that Battlefront 2 also probably won't have a season pass, according to its creative director. That is a big change from 2015's Battlefront, which added 4 post-release map packs, which were $15 each. So like doubled the price of the game.
Bernd Diemer, DICE's Battlefront 2 creative director, seemed to indicate that the game's designers don't want to split up the game's community by putting new maps behind a paywall.
Which makes sense. A lot more developers have been doing it these days.
But he did say that the designers have something different in mind, possibly when it comes to DLC.
Maybe characters, skins.
Ooh.
I don't know what else is doing.
Ships.
Everyone loves skins, but there's only so many ways you can skin a Star Wars character.
You can put a bow tie on your TIE fighter.
No. Diemer said, I cannot talk about the specifics of this, but we have something different in mind that will allow you to play longer and be more invested in the game without having a fragmented community.
Oh, and a DICE designer also tweeted that the game will have dedicated servers.
So all improvements so far. As for pre-order bonuses, the game will have plenty of those. Pre-ordering a deluxe version for $80 will get you access to the game on November 14th, which is 3 days earlier than everyone else. You'll also get upgraded versions of all 4 trooper classes and 4 epic ability upgrades, 1 for each trooper class.
You'll also get instant weapon unlocks and weapon mods for each trooper class. If you pre-order the $60 standard edition, you'll get exclusive costumes for Kylo Ren and Rey, plus epic ability modifiers for both, as well as an epic ability modifier for the Millennium Falcon.
And if that isn't all enough Star Wars, there is a tie-in novel coming this summer that leads up to the events of Battlefront 2 for the lore junkies. It'll be called Star Wars Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad and will bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and the game's single-player campaign. So you get like a nice through line all the way through.
So that's about all the Star Wars news we've got at this point.
Well, for Battlefront 2.
For Battlefront 2, at least. What do you guys think about Battlefront 2 so far? Do you plan on picking it up?
Does this fix the issues that you had with the first one?
Do you want to see a bow tie on a TIE fighter? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your Star Wars news, whether it's video games, the movie, the books, everything else in between, because we really can't help ourselves, make sure you like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to them now. We'll be here all week. And every week, really.
We work here.
Pretty much every week.
Yeah.
This is kind of what we do. Yeah. Tip your waitress, if you have one. If you're at home, tip your cat. Or a cow.
Oh my god. We can see a Sentinel droid, Sentinel? Sentinel.
Sentinel.